I swear if I lose the game because it wouldn't let me throw the ball because it sucked. Because it sucked my running back in. I'm gonna be so upset about that. It literally wouldn't let him go off for a route. Bro, what? What just happened? That's crazy. Let's go. It's kind of crazy that this is. See if the option will work or not, which is cool too. I like the not option also.
These are players in fantasy football you need to panic or be patient on. And first off, you need to panic if you have Kenneth Walker. He only had 40% of the snaps in week 1, and Charbonnet looked amazing behind him, so he'll be stealing a lot of touchdowns this year. But you need to be patient on Nico Collins. He only put up 6 points, but they were against the Rams, who have a top-tier defense in a low-scoring game. He has massive games ahead of him. You need to panic on Tyreek Hill. This Dolphins offense is terrible, and if Tua gets injured, he might not even be a top 50 receiver. I told you guys all offseason to avoid this guy, and I hope you listen. But you gotta be patient on Brian Thomas Jr. He had the volume with 7 targets in week 1, so if T-Law can be a little bit more accurate, he will return to his 2024 numbers. And before I finish the video, Jaden Daniels' line is discounted to 1 yard for Thursday Night Football, but this is only available on Sleeper using code NBCP. You also get $100 to play with. Last, a lot of superstars underperformed in week 1, so be patient on Jamar Chase and Malik Neighbors. These are players in fantasy football you need to panic or be patient on. And first off, you need to panic if you have Kenneth Walker. He only had 40% of the snaps in week 1, and Charbonnet looks amazing behind him, so he'll be stealing a lot of touchdowns this year. But you need to be patient on Nico Collins. He only put up 6 points, but they were against the Rams, who have a top-tier defense in a low-scoring game. He has massive games ahead of him. You need to panic on Tyreek Hill. This Dolphins offense is terrible, and if Tua gets injured, he might not even be a top 50 receiver. I told you guys all offseason to avoid this guy, and I hope you listen. But you gotta be patient on Brian Thomas Jr. He had the volume with 7 targets in week 1, so if T-Law can be a little bit more accurate, he will return to his 2024 numbers. And before I finish the video, Jaden Daniels' line is discounted to 1 yard for Thursday Night Football, but this is only available on Sleeper using code NBCP. You also get $100 to play with. Last, a lot of superstars underperformed in week 1, so be patient on Jamar Chase and Malik Neighbors. These are players in fantasy football you need to panic or be patient on. And first off, you need to panic if you have Kenneth Walker. He only had 40% of the snaps in week 1, and Charbonnet looks amazing behind him, so he'll be stealing a lot of touchdowns this year. But you need to be patient on Nico Collins. He only put up 6.
Andre Johnson, I look at when I'm in the Hall of Fame, I look around and see Jerry Rice, I see his quarterbacks. I'm in there with my quarterback. You know, I see Sterling Sharp, I see Brett Favre. I look at Andre Johnson and I'm like, damn, how'd you get in this room? Your quarterback ain't coming. His quarterbacks ain't coming. You see, those are different kind of dudes right there. Andre Johnson got in this room, and his quarterback is known. His nickname is the Pick Six. Matt Shaw, that's a Pick Six. You know, he threw Pick Six. That's how bad that dude is. When you're talking about physically gifted. Andre Johnson, I look at when I'm in the Hall of Fame, I look around and see Jerry Rice, I see his quarterbacks. I'm in there with my quarterback. You know, I see Sterling Sharp, I see Brett Favre. I look at Andre Johnson and I'm like, damn, how'd you get in this room? Your quarterback ain't coming. His quarterbacks ain't coming. You see, those are different kind of dudes right there. Andre Johnson got in this room and his quarterback is known, his nickname is Pick Six. Matt Shaw. That's a Pick Six. You know, he threw Pick Six. That's how bad that dude is when you're talking about physically gifted. Andre Johnson, I look at when I'm in the Hall of Fame, I look around and see Jerry Rice, I see his quarterbacks. I'm in there with my quarterback. You know, I see Sterling Sharp, I see Brett Favre. I look at Andre Johnson and I'm like, damn, how'd you get in this room? Your quarterback ain't coming. His quarterbacks ain't coming. You see, those are different kind of dudes right there. Andre Johnson got in this room, and his quarterback is known. His nickname is the Pick Six. Matt Shaw, that's a Pick Six. You know, he threw Pick Six. That's how bad that dude is. You idiots. You lied to me. He was adopted. He doesn't need to know. I do. Adoption makes us just as much as... When we were taking his medical history, were you confused? Did you think we were looking for a genetic clue to his condition, or did you think we were trying to ascertain who loves him the most in the whole wide world? Your medical history is useless.
No, we gave you a detailed history of his biological mother.
Her history: non-smoker, good health, low cholesterol, no blood pressure problems.
Ben was adopted 2 weeks after he was born. You have his history. There's nothing you need to know that we didn't tell you.
Sounds reasonable.
The biological mother, when she was a baby, she did her vaccinations. Dan was vaccinated at 6 months. Do you know why kids get vaccinated at 6 months? Because before that, they are protected by their biological mother's immune system. So, was she vaccinated? You idiots. You lied to me. He was adopted. He doesn't need to know. I do. Adoption makes us just as much as... When we were taking his medical history, were you confused? Did you think we were looking for a genetic clue to his condition, or did you think we were trying to ascertain who loves him the most in the whole wide world? Your medical history is useless. No, we gave you a detailed history of his biological mother.
Her history: non-smoker, good health, low cholesterol, no blood pressure problems.
Ben was adopted 2 weeks after he was born. You have his history. There's nothing you need to know that we didn't tell you.
Sounds reasonable.
The biological mother, when she was a baby, she did her vaccinations. Dan was vaccinated at 6 months. Do you know why kids get vaccinated at 6 months? Because before that, they are protected by their biological mother's immune system. So, was she vaccinated? You idiots. You lied to me. He was adopted. He doesn't need to know. I do. Adoption makes us just as much as... When we were taking his medical history, were you confused? Did you think we were looking for a genetic clue to his condition, or did you think we were trying to ascertain who loves him the most in the whole wide world? Your medical history is useless. No, we gave you a detailed history of his biological mother.
Her history: non-smoker, good health, low cholesterol, no blood pressure problems.
Dan was adopted 2 weeks after he was born. You have his history. There's nothing you need to know that we didn't tell you.
Sounds reasonable.
The biological mother, when she was a baby, she did her vaccinations. Dan was vaccinated.
I'm going to send her a signed hat.
I'm on the spectrum.
Okay. Congratulations.
Why is it that a lot of the times people with uteruses have to carry all the responsibility that comes with getting pregnant?
You mean women?
I always like to joke I had a boss who never showed up to work.
So maybe that's who Elon fired.
He didn't. He fired me.
Oh, okay.
Joey, you seem so stiff and white. Do you have a stick up your...
You seem so sweet. Does anyone love you in your life?
Given that you are anti-immigration.
Anti-illegal immigration.
Okay, that's fine. I'll grant you
More
that.
Elon Musk and less Elon Omars. That makes sense?
I'll give you £1,000 right now if you could tell me the U.S. citizen that was deported under Donald Trump. You said that twice. Yeah, the U.S. citizen that was deported under Donald Trump. Can anyone tell me? £1,000. I'll give it to you right now. Yeah, name? Wrong. Not a U.S. citizen. Citizen El Salvador. Anyone else? U.S. citizen deported under Trump. No, that was a lie. You should know better than that. You go to odds.
Charlie Kirk, we're praying for you. We know that you're in heaven right now.
I'm going to send her a signed hat.
Third and 3, Love out of the shotgun. They're rushing 4, throws, and it almost, is that intercepted? Oh my God, it's a terrible throw. Oh my God, it's a terrible throw. It's a terrible throw, and he's down at the 5. All right, McManus, put this through. Put this through. Ryan, because they want to call. It's blocked! It's blocked! Oh my God, no! They blocked it and recovered it on their own 47. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Here's the snap. The kick is up. It's right down the freaking middle. Oh, we got a laundry. Hold on. There's a flag. Leads me on the offense. Oh, Matt LaFleur is hugging it out. Apparently it's not. So that means that the Cleveland Browns freaking won offsides. What a crappy freaking game, man. What a freaking disaster for the Packers. They just let that one get it. It's a great kick. Third and 3, Love out of the shotgun. They're rushing 4, throws, and it almost, is that intercepted? Oh my God, it's a terrible throw. Oh my God, it's a terrible throw. It's a terrible throw, and he's down at the 5. All right, McManus, put this through. Put this through. Ryan, because they want to call. It's blocked! It's blocked! Oh my God, no! They blocked it and recovered it on their own 47.
Can you guys name the 10 most recent running backs to get 1,700 yards or more in a season?
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley did it in 2024.
King Henry.
King Henry did it in 2024.
I mean, AP did it.
Adrian Peterson did it in 2000.
I have friends. You're not going to be.
Over and looking at what we have at wide receiver. You will obviously see in the Flock League video that comes out tomorrow, but pour one out for Mr. Zachary Savage, who desperately needed Jamison Williams points. Jamison on the first drive comes out here and has 43 receiving yards, multiple receptions, looks great. And then he goes silent the rest of the game. You don't hear the word Jamison one more time after that first drive. And Amon-Ra St. Brown obviously is crushing it. Going over to our wide receiver rankings, I had Amon-Ra St. Brown wide receiver 2. I'm going to keep him there. I don't think I need to move him down. I understand, yes, it wasn't the best game in the world, but he still gives you 22. It was solid. We're not even talking about it. Going over and looking at JMO.
No one.
We have Jamison Williams down here at wide receiver 29. You all know my take for Jamison. Good real-life player, stretches NFL defense, allows the Lions to run the ball effectively, creates space underneath for Amon-Ra St. Brown. But Jamison Williams himself isn't going through, and he's not dominating targets. I have T. Higgins on my own team. I actually would probably prefer Higgins over Jamison Williams rest of season, because I can at least make an argument, what happens if Cincinnati goes out there and they trade for Cousins? What happens if they trade for Winston? J-Mo, we've kind of figured out who he is, right? He's going to give you random spikes. He's not going to see a lot of volume. Great real-life player, not a great fantasy option. So we'll leave Jamison Williams here at 30. We'll move him down one spot, and then we'll have Amon-Ra St. Brown staying at 2. Nothing changes there. Going over to Sam Laporta, 4 targets. At least you have nothing else going to any Brock Wrights of the world. Sam Laporta, we had him at tight end 7 in our rest of season ranks. Behind Jake Ferguson's just going to absolutely crush with no CeeDee Lamb. George Kittle, Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren, Brock Bowers, and Trey McBride. So I think we're going to leave Sam Laporta here at 7. Now, I don't think there's anything else to talk about the Lions. Not much changes. Dave Montgomery looks really good. I owe Dave Montgomery an apology. Really good offense. And Montgomery still an absolute crusher. Let's go over and let's look at Lamar. Lamar got sacked 7 times in this game. There were some plays in this game in which you looked at it and you went, oh my gosh, there is no quarterback on this planet that can do what Lamar Jackson can. Like, some plays, it was like, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback to ever play. And then other places, it's like, what the hell is this guy doing? Lamar Jackson, about 300 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. And he gives you the rushing. I have Lamar Jackson QB2 in my rest of season ranks. I only have
I
Josh
can't
Allen ahead of
even
him.
get guys to get off their
The thing
blocks.
with Allen versus Lamar, it honestly doesn't matter, right? You pick your guy.
Yeah, but this is an
easy
easy game.
Literally never misses time. Never gets injured. He's always in there. Lamar, we've seen miss time before, so I'm going to keep Josh Allen ahead of Lamar because we've seen Josh Allen breaks his nose. They pop it back in. They send him right back out. So looking at what we have with Derrick Henry, what I was fading from Derrick Henry tonight is I needed Derrick Henry to have fewer than 20 points. And also I had the Baltimore Ravens kicker. So it was like Baltimore Ravens kicker plus 20 points or Derrick Henry. I was pretty confident I was going to win. I told the fiance, hey, can you go buy me a king costume from the local Halloween place? I kind of need it because I'm going to do a bit for the Flock League. I was pretty confident it was going to happen, and it does. The thing here with Derrick Henry is he's not going to catch the ball. So the big play's not there. Derrick Henry's not good. He had 1 reception in this game. Hell, he almost freaking cost the Ravens game even earlier with a horrible pass. Like, Derrick Henry had that ball, goes out. He wants a passing touchdown so bad that the most obvious thing in the world is just throw this thing out of bounds. And he goes, no, if it's 50-50 interception or passing touchdown, I want the passing touchdown on my stats. So he goes out there and he chunks it. But nonetheless, Derrick Henry, y'all know I'm not the biggest Derrick Henry guy. Older, not going to catch the ball. It's big player, it's nothing. I'm moving him down. I'm sorry.
What?
I know this is a tough matchup against the Lions.
Bro, what?
Second fumble at the end of the game here. I don't want to speak too much down on Derrick Henry because I did it last year. I did it the year before. I did it this year. So this has been 3 straight seasons of us fading Derrick Henry. He very publicly crushed us last season. So I'm not going to throw too much dirt on his grave, but in a full PPR format,
EA is quite literally trying to screw me. Okay. So it should be on the ground, right? No. It goes to him, and then he returns it for a touchdown.
if I'm submitting my...
This is proof that EA is out to get me.
that Derrick Henry comes through and he makes me regret this and he makes me look like an absolute clown. But Derrick Henry, I'm going to have at RB9 in our rest of season ranks. No other running backs worth rostering in Baltimore, by the way. I know some people have Justice Hill. I drafted a lot of Justice Hill in underdog best ball drafts, but like the thing is, even if Derrick Henry were to go down, it's just going to be a running back by committee with Keaton Mitchell. Like, don't roster any backup running backs in Baltimore. Now, going over to tight end, this was the biggest change that we have to make from this game by far.
Can I get somebody to get open? No one's getting open. I can't run the ball.
The Baltimore Ravens in weeks 1 and 2 combined for like 80 points. Mark Andrews had 7 combined receiving yards in those first 2 weeks. And you sprinkle on the fact that there was no Isaiah Likely. So I was looking at it going, okay, if he's not producing in this scenario,
What? How is a green throw behind his head?
I ranked him as...
Then I get a green throw that's behind his head. How is that even possible? Easy schedule, they said. The CPU is easy, they said.
So this offense. So I'm going to move up to 13, but again, all tight ends are garbage. Now, looking at the receivers, Rashad Bateman, good best ball option. He's going to give you a couple random spikes. Should you go out there and pick him up from this game? No. Like, again, Baltimore Ravens dropped 80 points in the first 2 weeks, and Rashad Bateman wasn't even remotely close to being considered. It doesn't matter. The only wide receiver that's worth talking about here is Mr. Flowers, who through the first 2 weeks, I want to say was like the wide receiver 4 in fantasy points. Zay Flowers had been crushing it. For that reason, I moved Zay Flowers up from like being a wide receiver 3 for us up to wide receiver 17. I was getting really excited about Flowers. But we were still hesitant, still not ranking him as a wide receiver 1. And still I'd like Cortland Sutton ahead of him. Because you could look at the larger sample. We could go back to last season when Lamar Jackson had 41 passing touchdowns last year and statistically had one of the best QB seasons of all time. And Lamar Jackson had Zay Flowers as a wide receiver 3 in fantasy. So now we get confirmation that, yeah, Zay Flowers, the guy from last year, he hasn't really changed. It's kind of the same name. Clearly, I'd rather have Rashee Rice. Clearly, I'd rather have Igbuka. I think he falls down to the tier with like Jacoby, Terry, Pearsall, Debo, to where this big tier is like wide receivers that I have no rank. They're exciting. You could definitely consider putting them in your flex play. You're probably flexing them most weeks, but they're not like an auto lock. Like the wide receivers in tier C at this point, it's like if they're healthy, if they're playing, they're in your lineup. That's Pickens, Tet, Adams, Wilson, Sutton, Rice, Igbuka. The tier D is what the hell?
Third straight play that they're trying to have me have a turnover. And he outstretches. I didn't tell him to outstretch, but he's going to outstretch anyways, just naturally, I guess. And it's going to be a fumble, and he's going to get it after, on a green throw, throwing it behind his head on the play previously. And I just got the ball back. And before that, it was that interception I sent. Like, what is this game? Like, what? There's nothing I can do to stop this game. It's just wanting to screw me.
Going on. I don't even want to talk about them. Tier E is they're going to give you some duds. They're going to give you some big games. Monitor if they're healthy. Monitor the matchup, and you could probably go through and roll with them. So Zay Flowers, not nuking him by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he looks more like a flex play than a set it and forget it top 15 wide receiver every single week. But I think that's all I got for you. I want to remind you that I know you're probably going to be setting your waiver wire tonight and tomorrow morning. I would highly recommend linking your team with the site just so you understand the best players that are available in your exact league. Like, I'll show you how to do this real quick if you haven't already. So, like, you can see this is my league with the power rankings. Now, I don't know if everybody has their rankings fully up to date, so we can go ahead and we can sort it by my ranks. But my values, I'm not going to lie, while I did.
What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about T. Henry because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100. Okay.
And to the black community specifically, like, are we perfect? Cause we must be perfect because nobody can tell black people anything. If I get up here and I preach to the black community, it's, oh, you hate black women, or you are Uncle Tom, you a Sambo, you supporting whites. Like, nah, bro. If someone is saying something to shine light on an issue in the community that can probably improve the community, what's the problem? If Dr. Umar said, hey, y'all know y'all love Dr. Umar, I don't know why. You know, he does say some legit stuff. I give you that. If Dr. Umar, you know, shines light on an issue in the black community. Y'all got a problem with him. White people can't do it. Black people can't do it. Who can do it? If a black woman do it, y'all call her a pygmy. Who can do it, bro? So, I mean, y'all mad at Charlie Kirk, and he did some wild thing. He did spew some wild stuff about the black community. We ain't gonna sit here and debate that. That's not a debate. But I think his intent was, just to speak the truth. That's all, And the truth doesn't always feel good. Like, for instance, when he brings up the black on black crime, people don't realize, like, yeah, we do.
Now a blocked extra point.
Black people, it's a fact. It don't matter who said it. It's a fact, man. So the black community specifically, we're just too sensitive, man. And because you don't like what someone said, you get online and start celebrating their assassination. At the end of the day, we all Americans. You're sick and you're evil. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. I never thought I would see something like this in my life, man. And it's there, bro. Y'all do y'all thing, though.
Question is, and it's not just for black people, I had formed a question for anybody, whether you're liberal or whatever. Why is it so difficult for people to accept the truth or for you to be able to hold them accountable? Anybody can answer.
Because there's especially abundance of lies, you start questioning you'll start questioning I trust my own self, I trust my own thoughts. People are not ready to hold themselves accountable and say, I'm not as smart as I thought I was. What I do notice about the black community specifically, black women, some black women, they don't like to be the last person in the room to know something themselves. So if they didn't know first, it's not what I didn't know first. It can't be true. That's what I see. That's what I
What do you mean by they don't want to know certain things about themselves? What do you mean by
that I'm gullible, that I don't know how to critically think. I don't know how to think for myself. I don't know what to care about. Therefore, I don't know how to decipher between a lie, a falsehood, and a fact. I can't trust to be an informed person. I can only just be the person people are waiting to spoon feed information. They can't trust themselves to validate things or not.
So now apparently they can just like jump ball. He can be hit as he's trying to catch it in the air, and he'll just get it. Just I mean.
That everybody can see your problem. That's right. That's right.
Oh, but he won't fumble.
I think it's,
No.
It, like you said, it holds up a mirror, and when you can't blame.
I make the right play.
As a white man, so this or that, it's like, all right, now you gotta look within. It's like, damn, why am I still in this same position? And if it's not anything else out of myself, and I think that
I make the right play, and then it's like, oh, CPU, they can do no wrong. So dumb.
And then you don't have to worry about somebody else telling you that, you should stink. Everybody should stink, but don't act like, yours don't. So
we didn't have our great grandmothers and grandmothers and parents' ideology
of course.
imprinted on us for generations.
I mean, there was supposed to be someone right there, but no.
You listen to older people. It's not going away.
It's just so dumb.
And so it's up. It's up to us to change the narrative.
It's so dumb.
People like us, and just
it pisses me off that they just do this.
Been ingrained in us for so long. It's almost like implanted in our DNA, almost. And like
what?
I read to this one video, and the girl was saying like our wombs curse, like we are cursed. We still in the wilderness, wandering around. And
that is crazy. Watch, they're going to get a first down or a touchdown on this play. Oh, wow.
The wounds are cursed because all these abortion women are having. Their wounds are.
And look at and look at the fruit that's produced is riding a lot of it.
That's true too.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
I was saying that you can't hold
by holding black people accountable, that would force them to get out of their victim mindset and they want to remain a victim in a lot of situations.
They always bring up point too. Like, this is what happened to us, and they put us in this box to always be like this, and then you become a person that says, well, now we have all the tools and resources to know how to pass down.
I'm supposed to have a decent quarterback,
Progressing,
and he just overthrows every throw.
You know, like, I think, I don't want to talk bad about our Ravens. I really don't. I love our Ravens. You know, they make a mean college green. But I remember.
Whereas that's not intercepted, to be quite honest.
What's a Democrat? What's a Republican? Because I don't know. I will never forget. Democrats are black people.
This is just insane.
Rich white folks. And when you first introduce that way of thinking, and you don't make sure that your children.
Oh, just drop it. Yeah. I mean, it's not like.
To adolescence until they're adults.
It's not like I was right there and he didn't touch me or anything.
Should I say a lot?
No, I'm sure he touched me.
That's the victimhood mentality. So when you do something wrong, you already have a person or an entity of some sort to blame. It'll never be.
It through his hands. I'm literally getting my players, and it's going through their hands.
You see the average sharpness, have you noticed?
Receivers dropped 3 straight open passes. This is certifiably insane.
You on this stuff, it don't matter.
Like, her parents are immigrants.
That's deeper than
Yeah, but they all just, yeah. And they don't, those people do not care.
2 broken tackles when tackling in the backfield led to a touchdown. Yeah, this is just stupid. No one gets open. No one can block. And all this bullshit that's happening. What?
You know, this ethnic group or, you know, LGBTQ, like, if you're able to have access to more resources and, you know, more way in, and it's like, you're a victim. Right, and it's like, it makes sense.
Another dropped open pass. What is going on? I can't even get open players to catch the ball.
Saying that black people are just inadequate. They know that they're, you know, the women are getting figures, you know.
Bro, this is dumb. Just say it's going to be an automatic loss if you're going to do this bullshit, EA.
Wouldn't know it because of the DEI. So that's pretty much what he was like saying. And so many people just took it as, oh, he's just running black people around. That's evil, that's wicked, that's hatred. No, that's logic, sweetie. There's no way for you to statistically know who's really in the trenches and getting stuff out the mud and who's really pushing their way through with the knowledge that they have.
No.
Michelle Obama, I'm sorry, I can't trust that she's as knowledgeable as she may try to make herself seem. Or the other lady that admitted that she came through with on DEI or whatever, like, it's just not believable.
Like, someone shoot me after this game.
And
whenever it did grow, that makes it way easier for us to be seen again. And they don't understand that. Yeah, I mean, DEI is essentially, reverse racism. It's saying you aren't good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you can't be, you know, the same as everybody else. So, and that it's reverse racism.
I just feel like being a black liberal is like a proxy war. Like it just doesn't even make sense because it's just like every policy, everything they push to the community is just it holds us down, it holds us back, it keeps us stagnant, it keeps us it just keeps us in this victim mindset. It never pushes for us to do better. It pushes for us to stay on welfare, stay on unemployment, keep the fathers out the home. Nothing positive. There's nothing
You ain't black unless you vote for Joe Biden. Then you
I can't believe I
I'm having open receivers getting overthrown by 10 yards.
because it'll mess with their entire worldview. They crash. They believe the lies and they believe the overdose so much. It's just like if you try to actually reason with them and be honest and state the facts, they can't. It just doesn't.
Bro,
It seems
just
like it
take
doesn't register.
it. Like,
And it's because it doesn't. They can't fathom it. They can't. If what we're saying was to be true, their entire worldview would be shut down. They would have no sense of identity. They wouldn't know who they are. They wouldn't They would question everything about themselves, about the world they live in, about literally any and everything. So it's like a never-ending cycle. Like it's just a never-ending cycle.
It's like weird though. It's super weird because it's like they don't understand how DEI is not allowing you to be seen individually.
I fucking hate this game. This game in Heroes makes me want to quit college again. Like, this is ridiculous.
Get back to that, we need to stop saying, hey, we want y'all to give us a number. No, F the number. We need to have our real seats. Like, we really need to be looked after. Like, hey, I want Carmaya. I want Jerry. I want Aaliyah. Like, we need to be known by name, not by number. That's crazy.
And I think also say this as well. If we're speaking about DEI, I know that some people are saying in the chat as well. I've been seeing on social media with what Charlie Kirk did on the Civil Rights Act. What he was saying was that there should be a one-page bill that specifically says there should be no racial discrimination or racial bias in America is unacceptable. He said that the Civil Rights Act, which we all know to be true, was hijacked by the feminist movement, was hijacked by the LGBTQ movement, was hijacked by all of the extras, and it was tied into the civil rights movement. And he said that the Civil Rights Act, in its intent, was it did have.
Oh, wow, another open receiver dropping the ball. That's like 7 out of the last 8 pass attempts. Yeah, just take it. After this game, I don't think I want this game for a long time.
Oh, well, that's not.
Close game, and then the bullshit happens, and I lose 57.
get it? How did you get it? How is DEI supposed to help us, but it's mainly been benefiting white women?
So in theory, it's like DEI in theory sounds good, but in actual practice, you see how many.
And that's what I'm not understanding. How is the racism rhetoric coming into play if it was real?
Maybe the worst half as far as bullshit animations I've ever seen.
And it's like over on DEI, you know, whatever else it covered. Like, and when he speaks on DEI, it gives a specific example. Now he's racist, but DEI, I thought you said it's for white folks as well. Like, make it make sense.
The logic is never consistent. It doesn't make sense. It's unreasonable. It's illogical. It would never make sense to a sound, a reasonable human being. It would never make sense. It would just write an extra and close the door. It can't.
Right. Like, didn't work.